What's up, guys? Welcome to this Tuesday, I believe it's Tuesday, Banter Blitz session. We're back in the banter business. I'm sure happy. The Banter Blitz shutdown is finally over and things are back to normal, even though we'll probably... No, that's not true. I was gonna say we'll probably have another break because Vaikansei is starting soon, but actually I'm sure we'll fit in some bantering in that one too. So, in case you missed the last show, how dare you, first of all. Secondly, Happy New Year to everybody out there. It's 2019. I'm full of energy. We have like the great Hamburg weather that everybody loves. Rain, 3 degrees, like windy. So, no matter how you cover yourself, the rain finds a way straight into your face. The good news is it's only gonna be like 6 more months of this weather, and then we'll have 2 weeks of sunshine. So this is Banter Blitz with me. My name is Jan Gustafsson. I'm a very famous and very washed up chess grandmaster. You can challenge me by hovering over my name below this video. My name is Jan. Then if you click on it, you should have a little button called challenge. Then I might accept your challenge if you are a Chess24 premium member. If you're not a Chess24 premium member, now is the time to become one, because we will be doing a Vaikansei live show, 13 rounds for premium members only, with the great Peter Svidler, starting this Saturday. I've been doing my research. I'm very excited about Vaikansei. I think it's a good field. And I'm really itching, is that a word? Itching to get back to commentary. Haven't done it for a while. Well, I was secretly hiding in tropical locations, clicking buttons on computers instead. Back to business. All right, let's get started after this very well written monologue. Since the writer's strike is over, I finally have a full team of gag writers at my disposal again. That was a lie. And let's accept a challenge, shall we? What about color complex? What does it mean, color complex? You are intending to play strictly on the dark or light squares? Or you find colors complex? I don't know. He goes G3. Some people have been fooling around with some early G3s recently, mainly trying to transpose to mainline Catalans. I think Ding did it against Anish Diri. But I've always been of this school of thought. If they don't challenge you in the center with c4, then try to challenge them with c5 ASAP. And c3 doesn't look very critical. I believe bishop g2 is a more sensible move here. So here we go. Bishop g2, cd4 looks like a very normal option. I'd like to play bishop f5 or bishop g4 and then e6, keeping the tension. But I'm somewhat worried after bishop f5 that he will grab my pawn. And I will never see it again. e6, of course, also possible. But since he's played so passively with c3, I'll try to get sort of an, what do you call this? Exchange Slav reverse, where frankly his bishop on g2 is not doing all that much, just staring down that d5 pawn. a3, another reasonable but somewhat passive move. I will afford the luxury to play h6, just so I'm never bothered by knight h4, giving my bishop a little cozy home here on h7. Let's briefly check in with the chat. Shaba, whose name I will never learn to pronounce correctly, is saying, Jan, if you had to play one of the following as black, which one would you go for? 1 Alban, 2 Budapest, 3 Dutch. You know what? I'll try to play all 3 in today's show. Gonna be tough to do. They're all horrible, of course. I guess I would play the Dutch because it's not losing material, but I would be very, very unhappy. I will be very, very unhappy. Well, I'm reasonably happy with the position I have right here, right now. Generally in these structures you normally want to go bishop to f4 to exchange these bishops, not bishop d2. That looks a bit passive. The thing is, because of this silly bishop, I actually have more pieces in play once the going gets tough here on the queen side. And we might be about to reach that moment, because he played b4, and I shall challenge him instantly by playing a5. b5 looks like the way to go. When I could think about bishop a3, but probably I'll just move my knight somewhere. Most probably b8, so I can reroute it to d7 and then b6 and c4. While a4 often has the problem that it weakens some dark squares, and also you never get knight a4 anymore. So this already, even though it might not look like anything, in my very, very humble opinion, a tough position to play with white. Because it's easier to play for me. I have bishop a3 to annoy. I could have probably gone bishop a3, bishop b2, chasing material instantly. And had I seen it, I probably would have done it. But yeah, just look at these squares. It's no fun for white. Here comes the knight again. What are we talking about? Trouble G says play the Farajovic instead. That qualifies as whatever this crap is called. What is it called? Budapest, right? Budapest is an opening that includes the, what do you call this? Sorry for bungling now name. Fajarovic. Marky Mark says, nice hoodie and color suits you. Thank you so much. Who would have thought after all these years, navy blue is my color. Kidding, I always wear blue. I'm a one-trick pony when it comes to colors. He's hanging in there, color complex. Even though both the dark squared and the light squared color complex do have some holes in them, this position remains pretty tough to play. Because my pieces are just better than his pieces. And I can continue building up rook c7, rook fc8 if I feel like. And one day something should crack on the queen side. Hard to give any sensible advice here. e3 is reasonable. He's trying to go bishop f1. This position stays very passive. And I will practice what I preached. Go rook c7, rook fc8. Increase the pressure. Knight d2. Is it time for action? Nah. So many options. This knight is stupid, so there is some temptation to just keep my knight, put it back on b6, and keep him stewing in his own. I don't really speak English today, but I'll make up words. Stewing in his own. What could you stew in? Is it stew or stew? I don't know. Anyway, after the exchange of these knights, the white situation has improved a bit. I still have some pressure, but I have not managed to break through just yet. I can't see anything that would work tactically directly, so I have to very humbly retreat and then resume operations. He plays f3, which is sensible, stopping knight to e4, but is also daring me to open the position, and I shall accept that challenge. Because now after f3, e3, and the whole color complex over there have been somewhat weakened. He's trying to keep it together by going king to f2, but it's not a move you really want to make. I'll just keep fishing for weaknesses for now. h5 probably. Not the best of moves, but very hard to defend this as white. I would hope at least. Even though at some point I gotta make an effort to break this down. Knight d5 gives me material, no? You know I always appreciate material gifts. Yeah, this didn't work. His position was unpleasant and he cracked under the pressure. He should have just played bishop to d2 and continued fighting. Well, now, if I'm not very mistaken, I'll just be a piece up. Stew in his own broth, Hans Gerhard, big champion of English. I've been thinking, speaking of broth, now that I get older, should I start drinking bone broth? That's what you do, right? That's what Kobe Bryant did to keep his career going. Sounds disgusting though, bone broth. And I don't really know what it is, but I've been told it's a secret recipe. Alright, piece up. so I should just keep it that way. Where should the horsey go? B6 or D6? Maybe B6. Obviously anything wins, but still, when we're material up, it does not give us a license to start playing crappy moves. Is that a thing? I'm not sure if that's a thing. That sounds very sensible. And I am here to share my infinite wisdom. Like, you know, don't blunder pieces. Stuff like that. I'm wondering if he should, if he should try to do this and then go A5. Will not save the day. Well, that's why I didn't play Queen B4 even though. Generally, it's tempting, of course, when material up to exchange some pieces, but Queen B4 takes an A5. My knight on A8 looks a little silly. Well, now had he played A5, I had some tactics, like bishop takes B5 and Queen C5 check and take. So it wouldn't have panned out very well for him. And here, well, I can finish the game any way I choose to, and of course I choose the high route, and finish it by flagging him. Thanks for the game, Color Complex. Let us play some more ajedrez. Maybe against none other than Club Rakemate. Wow, this guy is literally a chess club. That's a bit scary. So what did I promise to play? The Elbens, the Budapest, and the Leningrad Dutch? All of those are horrible. I'm out of book 94. It's a line I've never really studied because it just looks so ridiculous. And it's one of those where when someone dares to play with black, I think first of all good, I'm probably winning after 4 moves, and then secondly, why did I never spend 5 minutes looking at this? So in a way, it works against me. Then again, it's really bad, or I can't believe it's not really bad. It looks very, very silly. But as mentioned, I'm out of book. Queen C2. What are you supposed to do? Knight C5, D5, should be 4 check. I'll go here, I guess. And wow, the esteemed Mr. Docci is with us from the forests of northern Sweden, where I'm assuming it's minus 25 degrees at this time of year. He probably had to fight his way through another snowstorm just to make it to the Banter Blitz. And this tremendous effort is, of course, highly appreciated by, I don't know, by somebody. So A3 played. What am I supposed to do? Do you go all positional here and you start fishing for squares like A5? Nah, I should bring some pieces into the game first, at least, I guess. It's a frustrating opening. With pawn down, I don't know what I'm doing. This operation also does not seem to be yielding me very big benefits. If he takes, let's say Queen D3. I was intending to play Bishop C5, but then Bishop E3 or Bishop B2. My pieces get pushed back. So, not great either. Queen B2 looks worse because now at least I can organize my remaining forces sensibly with Bishop C5. And it's a little tougher for him to take on D4 because of that. And what's called Bishop D4. Things could get a little overstretched. I know the words I'm saying don't really make any sense, but you get it. Bishop E3 played, probably also a sensible move. When if I take EF, Bishop E3, FE, to Queen G5, sadly F4 sort of keeps everything covered as far as I can tell. So that's bad news. But I don't see anything better. Then takes, and now something. Maybe D6, is that a good move? Probably not. It's just a pawn down. Stupid Fajarovic. Why couldn't you invent a better opening where we at least have equal number of pawns? That's all I'm asking for. Apologies to Mr. Fajarovic. I'm sure he was a great man. So far, Klub Rakemate is outplaying me, and I haven't been able to get any gambiteering magic in. Very upsetting. Here, I'll randomly attack things and hope they'll be able to take something. Just a pawn. That's all I'm asking for. It's not too much, is it? Daniel Domazet is asking, "Hi Jan, what's the lowest rated player you played during the show?" I don't really discriminate by rating. I discriminate a bit by whom I haven't played before. Those guys I normally somewhat give priority. But other than that, we play against everybody. And by we, I mean me. On the show, getting a lot of complaints. Play a higher rated players, this is boring. But the point is to crush all of you, while of course at the same time giving all of you the amazing experience that it is to lose a blitz game to me. Especially if you play well and then I just win on time. That's really a blessing. I got my pawn back and I'm going to win on time very soon. So that's the good news. The bad news is I might still be slightly worse. We do play with this little thing they call chess clock. And you have to make your moves. Because if not, time is running out. Thanks for the game, Klub Rakemate, who play very well. Oh my god, we have a Grandmaster, the highest title in chess. And it is none other than Mr. Indian Anand. We've talked about his strangely chosen username in the past. Since Anand is actually Indian, that is a weird thing to call yourself. It's like calling yourself the American Donald Trump. I'm not sure that's the best comparison. I should take that back. Apologies to Vichy. It's like calling yourself the Dutch Anish Giri. I'm not sure that's a more flattering comparison. I can't think of anything. Anyway, Indian Anand. What do you call this in smart people lingo? Oxymoron? Or is that something different? I don't know. He might not be here. Where are you, Indian Anand? Well, your username might give that away. But it seems like you're not around. Tautology? Let's abort. Sorry, Indian Anand. Come back soon. That brings us to our next. Let's call a spade a spade. Victim. Ajedrecista feliz. Happy chess player. Spanish guys really rolling with the chess club theme in their usernames. I was gonna play the albums, but E3 very efficiently stops that. Paul Leonard Wagner is asking, was it the real Anand though? I strongly doubt the real Vichy would call himself Indian Anand. I think he assumes people know he's from India. Also, I happen to know Vichy's, I guess, very secret username. So, no, that's not it. Ajedrecista Feliz is trying to maintain happiness by playing some sort of, what do you call this? If he had played f4, he would call it a stone wall with an extra tempo like this. It's some weird semi-slav, but he allows me to go e5 in one go. So already things haven't gone well, because he's about to lose the fight for the center. And to add insult, I like to add insult, to injury, which I don't like adding. And this bishop has to move again. So not a successful opening for Athletista Feliz. I don't see any cruel and direct punishment, so I'll just get the pieces out. But I'm already, I would say, slightly to pleasantly better. Therefore, yeah, this has not gone well so far. Where are you from, Athletista Feliz? We need more information on where people live, what are good places to live, where it's not where it's not 5 degrees raining. So please tell me. Knight f3. I could take and go bishop h3. Could also just keep developing with bishop g4. Everything looks pretty good. I'll just get some pieces out. So let's get bishop h5. Is that blundering a piece? Some g4, f4. No, not really. Because after g4, bishop g6. Should he go f4? I can always throw in a little Zwischenzug and go bishop takes c2 before my bishop gets trapped with f4, f5. Boring Chess is asking, would you lose a game on live TV against Donald Trump for 1 million? I'd lose a game on live TV against Donald Trump for a lot less money. I'm very easily corrupted. Trouble G is asking, Jan, what's your favorite place in Germany? I don't know, man. Like, the weather is such a big factor and everything. I like Hamburg. I was born in Hamburg, and Germans, we are never like, what do you call this? Proud is too strong a word. To be Germans, but no, we are very uncomfortable, like representing Germany. But normally people are big representing their city. So I'm a Hamburg guy, and I will always praise Hamburg. Even though I have to say, I've been to other places than Hamburg, and in Hamburg we have this big thing. Hamburg is the most beautiful city in the world. Not sure. It's a nice city, a lot of green, a lot of good stuff to do. Big city, 2 million people, so you can do whatever you want. But this Hamburg weather, it's just, I will never fully get used to it. So that's a big discount. Other than that, from places I frequent, I really like Baden-Baden. Such a nice place. Yeah, that's the list. Then, what else is there? I think Dresden is a very nice city. There's lots of nice places, but I'll trade them over a village with 25 degrees and a beach any day of the week. Trade them against. Speaking of trade them against, we've exchanged some pieces here against Athletista Feliz. I still have to make inroads into his position, and since I'm losing patience, I'll just try to open that up by going d5, d4. You could play it more patiently. Centralized rooks, go b5, c4, bishop b6. Black is much better. But let's have a little action. All I want to do is have a little fun before the game ends. Peter De Vries 7169 is asking, isn't Janistan the voucher code, Jan? It is the voucher code. Here you go. Jonek is saying, I'm from Solingen. You know where your knives are from? I know. Not my knives, even though they might be. WNF? Maybe that's from Solingen. And some offense to your hometown. I've been there. Maybe I'm just saying that because Solingen keeps giving us a hard time in the German league. But no, not. Alright, rook a d1. How do I get this done? Put the bishop on this diagonal, maybe? Shaba is saying, I'm moving from HD to Göttingen soon. Seems to be worst of both worlds. Small town but bad weather. Yeah. That sounds about right. What's HD again, Shaba? Remind me of your home base. Well, I tried to checkmate. Mr. Feliz. Let's make him a little less feliz. Might not be able to do it. King on h2. Still safe. I can only go knight g4, hg, then beam my queen to h4. Well, then he played king g2. Nothing would happen either. I want to take on g4. I'm not sure if this is a good move. Or it feels like it's not a good move. But sometimes you gotta make moves in life, even though you don't know what the outcome will be. Not a big strength of mine. I normally do nothing, just passive aggressively, sit everything out, and then feel like a big victim of the circumstances. I refuse to take any accountability for not only for my actions, but especially for my inactions. Great way to live your life. How do I checkmate Mr. Acheletista? I've spotted some cheapos like queen f5, rook e2 check, even though even that continues. And bishop c3, I thought I could go here. That would also be a bit awkward, because if he defends the guy with queen g2, let's say I have queen h4 check. Even though then queen h3, I'm not really calculating very well. At all. So I want a queen g2, queen h4, but then after queen h3, I can't see a win, which is upsetting. Might not be a win. So now I'm just, well, it's not just a piece down. I have 2 pawns. I can probably take a third one when I feel like, so I'm not even sure if I'm worse, but it's certainly not how I had planned to conduct this game. Guladash 1996 is saying, Jan was secretly operating from Thailand Massage Club. Yeah, that's not very far from the truth. Yonek is saying, in the weather in HD is like in the jungle. I always get sick the first day I'm here. What's HD? Enlighten me. High definition? Now I might finally be winning, because if the knight moves, rook e2 picks up material. And you guys know, I like my materials. And Shaba is saying HD is Heidelberg. I haven't spent much time in Heidelberg, but that's another place that's very high on the list of nice German places, no? At least everybody seems to love it. All that area, I haven't spent enough time, but Freiburg as well. Like it over there. The weather is slightly better than here. And Acheletista Feliz finally loses on time. Played a good game. What can I say? What else we got? Not a lot of high-rated guys around here, so I'll do the usual. When you can't find high, you go low. Some offense, Daniel Domazet. First game against Daniel Domazet. He plays d4. Let's hope he gives me another shot at the Albans. No, everybody's too savvy to allow the Albans, which I promised to play. So I think I'll play another day. Advice number 1, stop playing the London system. You won't learn anything about chess by going for this e3, c3, knight bd2, and you won't even get a good position out of the opening. I'm aware it's a popular opening and all that, but I don't think it's a, oh, this is the fix. I don't have to learn all this evil theory, and I just get to play chess solution. What are we discussing? Heidelberg? Shaba saying Karlsruhe and Mannheim are ugly. Sorry? I don't think Karlsruhe is too bad. It's no Baden-Baden, but they have this Grenke open there, and I had a stroll around. I thought it was a pretty nice city. So CD, actually I think this is not the best move. Full disclosure here, because after bishop f5, which is a common little trick you can't take because of queen d2, queen b3, white actually gets a very decent position. So instead of cd, I can't recall what I wanted. You can play bishop f5 directly, but then there's d takes c5. It gets a little murky. So maybe the best move is to just play rook c8 or e6 or some normal thing. Still, here we are. Gonna try to make the best of this. I don't think it's too bad for black, but it's not cruel punishment. I was hoping to inflict on the London system to support my claim that you shouldn't play it. It's a hard knock life. Anyway, Daniel so far is playing very well, not living up to his 1387 rating at all. So please start doing that, Daniel. Shaba is asking, if you had to play the London, the Torah, or the Trump, which would you play? I probably have played all of those. I'm not sure I've played much London. But yeah, all of those are decent. They don't, give you an opening advantage, but you can play them. If I had to choose, I don't know, probably the Torah. Torah means black is committed to e6, right? That should be a better version than the others. But yeah, I don't have any strong beef with any of those openings, except this tendency that I've noticed that the London system is more popular than it should be, in my very humble opinion. Still, Daniel is continuing to play excellent moves, so I guess I'll just win on time while doing nothing. The usual highly educational part of this broadcast. G4, I'm not sure. It's not a bad move, gaining some space, but I probably wouldn't have done it because it, could give me something to work with in the distant future. But I might have done it, actually. It's a perfectly decent move. 95, another good move. What is going on here, Daniel? Enough is enough. I will try to reshuffle my knight to d6. I paused a bit because I was thinking about knight d7 hitting this pawn, but I can just cover it with bishop d8, so it doesn't seem like it does too much harm to my position. Your move, sir. While Daniel is weighing his options, let me weigh my options what to talk about. Bishop d3, another decent move, I would guess. Knight e5, bishop h7. Doesn't give me much. Well, if I were to exchange here, this knight would occupy a fairly comfortable position on the d3 square. So yeah, what can I say? He's playing well. How do I keep some tension in the position? Don't really see it. I'll go for more highly exciting exchanges. That might still be slightly worse, actually. I guess it's more or less equal, but yeah, not playing like a 1387 at all. Shaba is saying, by the way, the Grenke is amazing. I agree, it's a true chess festival. There's so many people there, which, of course, I try to avoid eye contact, but it is a very inspiring atmosphere. Shaba is saying, I met Jan and Luke in a restaurant there. Was too shy to say hello. Sorry to hear that. I could have bungled your name. In real life. Wouldn't that have been fun? City Slicker is asking, Jan, did you watch Bandersnatch? Yeah, kind of. Like, it was weird, right? I get the message. We think we're in control with social media, but we're really not in control, blah, blah, blah. But it was weirding me out a bit too much to appreciate the artistic accomplishment or whatever you want to call it. And I do hope that interactive shows, choose your own adventure, are not the future of television. That's what we have computer games for, right? Like, just give me a good story. Don't make me do all this stuff. So yeah, it wasn't for me, even though I'm sure it was smart and all that. Okay, back to flagging. Where does my knight belong? Don't really see a great square for it anyway. So I'll just put it on a random square instead. Knight b3, more good moves. Yeah, this feels like a perfectly normal game so far. Can't really feel the 1800 points rating difference. You can, of course, feel the difference in flagging experience. But what do you think? What are we talking about? Shabbos trashing Vaikanze? I kind of enjoy Vaikanze too. Like, I haven't played, I guess, as a player in the opens. There's not as much space than in... Oops. Karlsruhe, for example, but it has its own charm, no? I've been there a couple times, and normally I have a very good experience there. So, this time I'm not going, I'll be doing commentary from here. From our Hamburg studio with Svidler Boy. Can I call him Svidler Boy? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to ask him. But I'm pro Vike, even though the weather, as you might have guessed, not my cup of tea. Some tactics here, a4. I didn't feel like retreating, even though I could have knight a7, knight c6. So I went for d4. When at least I'm threatening a knight fork. But we have pretty much every game now. People are playing well, but you should treat this like a blitz game. You shouldn't try to make decent moves until you lost on time. You should just, you know, it's easier said than done, but play faster. Let's play against Svalbard. Svalbard Molkup? Oh no, that's Paul Blart. I mix up these things. He plays e4. Are there any dumb e4 openings on my list of stuff I have to play? Not really, right? Then I can play proper opening. Le Sicilian. E6 is often the move of people's choosing when they want to avoid the anti-Sicilians like the Rossolimo or d6 bishop b5 check. After e6 it's a little tougher to get in a good anti-Sicilian, even though this 3g3 is a very decent attempt. Played by the likes of Magnus Carlsen. He even played this in a World Championship match against Vichy, I believe. If I recall correctly, this is what Robin van Kampen recommended in his video series. If you haven't seen them, most of those are a bit dated by now because Robin is more or less retired from chess. I think he has like a real job in real life. How dare you, Robin? Anyway, I think he recommended knight to f6 followed by e5, and all of his video series are excellent. Through the bank, as far as I could tell. So if you're looking to play the King's Indian or something like the Taimanov or need a repertoire in these Sicilian sidelines, Campman is the place to look. Alright, I will continue developing pieces humbly so far. Even though this, for me as a Spanish player, this is a construction I feel quite at home with. Because in the Spanish, often you go e5, d6, bishop e7. Then you have to move your knight somewhere, go c5, and move it back. So whenever I get this without losing too much time, I feel more or less comfortable. I lost the tempo going e6, e5, but it doesn't really feel like that to me, because I'm used to losing 2 tempi by going knight a5, c5 and knight c6 back. He goes rook d1 and h3, clearly hinting that he wants to push d4 in the center. So I will make my own modest preparations for that push. Go rook e8, so if he goes d4, I don't know, maybe I can take and play bishop f8, target e4, something like that. I haven't really thought it through. I might have to be very humble after d4. Play queen c7. But currently the plan is to take cd, bishop f8, and see where that takes us. Might just be bad. Knight c3 obviously comes to mind. dc5 is also an option. I would go knight takes e4. I can't see anything too terrible happening to me. Yeah, I'm not so sure about my position here. Can't take? I'd like to take. Knight takes e4, d5, dc5. Might not work out great for me. What else can I do? d5, he would go e5 or dc5 again. Let's assume d5, e5, then cd, knight d4, knight e5. Okay, that's good news. So d5, dc, d4, at least looks interesting. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, I'm not sure at all about what's happening. My point is e5, cd, and if knight d4, knight takes e5, or rook takes e5. And if dc, I'll probably just go d5, d4. Hope for the best. Pins me! How dare you? Also, why are you playing so well, Svalbard? I guess that's allowed. Still not appreciated. Very strong move, bishop g5, exploiting that I'm still pinned on the d file. Now he can contemplate all kinds of moves, like knight d5. I guess I have queen takes d5, but I would have to think about that one too. Or just rook c1, bishop takes f6, and if queen f6, then knight d5. White has options. e4, e5 also a move, which I'm not sure where that would lead us to. I would probably put my queen somewhere like queen a5 and hope to weather the complications from there. Queen c4, I did not anticipate, but also logical to get out of there. And what do we call this in the business? The e-file. Guess he wants bishop b6, knight d5. Yeah. Too strong. Knight d5, bishop e6. I want to play murky. Speaking of murky, the Freddie Mercury biopic won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. That's insane. The Bohemian Rhapsody movie. I watched that movie, and I have to admit, I wasn't fully awake for all of it. But that's not a good movie. Like, what's his name? Rami Malek performance as Freddie Mercury. Sorry for bungling that name. To Freddie Mercury is amazing, and he deserves like the acting accolades. But the movie, come on, like the dialogue is ridiculous, and the scenes are weird. It's clearly the characters are more or less caricatures, like all these manager characters, who's evil and who's not. Obviously, painting with a very broad brush, and I'm guessing there are some, what do you call this, rights issues, like, of course, the remaining members of Queen, our boy Brian May. They will have a say who gets to look good and who doesn't get to look good and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not a good movie, so to have that win Best Picture at the Golden Globes is a bit much. Give it to a good movie, like What's a good movie? I'm not sure what the strongest candidates were. Of the nominees, what was nominated? Black Panther was nominated. I'm cool with Black Panther not winning. A Star is Born was nominated. I guess that's the favorite. I've watched all of these movies. Like, yeah, Star is Born was fine. It didn't do that much for me, but it might also be not my genre. What else is there? Roma. I thought Roma was amazing. I'm not sure if it qualified because of the foreign language, but that's obviously much superior movie. It's completely different sport than Bohemian Rhapsody. Green Room I haven't seen, Vice I haven't seen. But yeah, that's a bit much, Golden Globes. Queen D5. So strong, our boy. Swallowed. Of course I'll win on time as usual, but still. Very good game. It might be worse, I don't know, it's very complicated. Knight D4, I'll play Bishop E6, and hope I can somehow checkmate him after Knight E6, Queen F2. That's the main plan here. But might not play out that way. Time is ticking away. You gotta live your life day by day. I know I'm a great singer. Yeah, once again, I played a good move. What's this position? Still roughly equal. Of course, I will win on time. In no time. Yeah, kudos to Svalbard. Play a great game. But no one's listening to me. You gotta make the moves, you know, within the time you're given. Thanks for the game, Mr. Svalbard. Let us play against Paul Leonhard Wagner. And I'm not fooled by that rating, because 1508 might just mean you're the chess world champion and you've only played 1 or 2 games on the site. Where's Paul Leonhard at? Turkish flag, very German sounding name. Mr. Paul Leonhard Wagner. We are playing the English. I normally try to go knight f3 and d4 here ASAP because I've never been that comfortable in these, what we call this? Symmetrical fianchetto English something. Anyway, I never know what I'm really doing here. But I should master this to be somewhat less predictable. And normally English players, they're so happy with a little a3, rook b1, b4. Oh, look at me, I'm playing a boring position and I'm getting a slight initiative on the queen side. So, if you can't beat him, join him. I should study this stuff. Even though whenever you start looking at these things with Mr. Compy, he will quickly bring you down to earth. He plays b6. I guess I could take, but I feel no particular rush to do so. Can I go b5 and just pick up material? That I do feel a particular rush to do. Yeah, b6. Felt odd, but it took me a second to recall that this diagonal is still open. Often you already have a knight on f3 in these structures when b5 wouldn't be great, but here it just seems to be picking up a piece, so that escalated quickly, Paul Leonhard. Boring Chess asking, do you secretly hate it when someone plays c5 against c4? I do. Not that much, no. Like, frankly, I've normally been more uncomfortable with guys playing c4, e5, and then just knight f6, d5 in opening. We've seen a lot in the Carson Caruana match, amongst other things. And of course, that's those are lines that are quickly developing in front of our very own eyes. But for me, as a mainly d4 player, the main reason not to play c4 has normally been e5, not c5. Not saying one is better than the other, and I think black is perfectly fine after one c5. But it's annoyed me less than one e5, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm a piece up, so the game Should be pretty much done. Still, I should try to be, whatever, somewhat precise in wrapping up. Queen b3 looks good enough, attacking d5 and b6. Here. Why not take some more while rushing to the support of our boy on c6? Run, Caesar. Caesar weak. Koba weaker. Alright, so where were we? I was complaining about Bohemian Rhapsody. Not complaining, like the music is amazing and it's fun to watch, but it's not a good movie. Speaking of good movies, I watched an amazing movie the other day called 8th Grade, which very accurately covers, I would say, the 8th grade experience. I once went to 8th grade, even though, of course, I was highly popular and didn't struggle with any of the problems the character in the movie is dealing with. But I thought in general this period of life when you're like 13, you're still a kid, but you're sort of, pretending you're no longer a kid and navigating the social complexities of that age. Your, what's the word? Pimples. No, I thought it was an amazing movie. It wasn't like... I like the words. I used to be good at English, not anymore. It wasn't like exploitative, is that a word? But still. Capturing the awkwardness that I'm sure pretty much everybody experiences at that time period. So it resonated true if you've ever been to 8th grade, while at the same time working in the devil that is social media and our addiction to our phones and the effect it has on teenagers' lives. I highly recommend it. It's very funny too. Like, it's just an excellent movie. Watch 8th Grade if you have not watched it yet. I, in the meantime, will crush Ya Ya Vo Vo Reborn. What's that? Ja Ja Wo Wo Reborn? Trouble J is asking, Jan, can you play the Birds opening? Yeah, why not play more ridiculous openings? This move hurts to make, really. I'm not sure, but I guess it's very close. If it's better to pass and play with black or to play one f4. I would guess it's slightly better to pass, but it's probably very close. I'm not being facetious, honestly, I'm not sure. Boring Chess saying, I'm surprised Jan still gets to watch grown-up films. Nah. Now over the holidays at some time. In general, it's just solid parenting. Put your daughter to bed at 7 and you have like time for 2 grown-up films. Jaja Wowo Reborn might be too shocked by the bird being the word to show up for this game. Oh no, there he is! Plays d5. Knight f3, knight f6. Yeah, I'm miserable already. What am I supposed to do here? e3, g3. Everything looks bad because the pawn is here and it can never move back. But I'll play the reversed, what do you call it? Leningrad, not the reversed. Whatever you call the other stuff. c6, bishop g4, I'm not sure. Everything looks very sensible for black, followed by knight b7. Yeah, looks very decent. I'll go d3 and probably knight c3. Try to prepare e4. If he takes on e5, I guess I should keep the tension, not take on e5, but play e4 anyway. This is a setup I learned from some very old book in the early 90s that also gave this plan of bishop g4. Knight b7 takes on e5 against the bird, and I played it a lot when I was a junior. Yeah. no need to discuss one f4 very seriously, because everything is fine. So if you go d5 and just play g6 here, the extra tempo doesn't help white all that much in this Leningrad, so black is very comfortable there. And there are a million other setups that are fine. He did check me, so I had to get out of the way. Now I should figure out how to arrange my pieces. Knight c3 looks a bit clumsy. I'm not sure where that knight is going from there. So maybe I'll put it here, trying to go to c4 or b3, even though it also does look clumsy, I'll have to admit. Alright, so where do we go? Knight c4, he might just go b5. Knight b3 is sort of a silly square. Maybe I'll just checkmate, go f5, g4, h4, g5. Act like it was all part of the plan. The thing with the structure is black has very decent pieces, but he doesn't really have any pawn breaks or a built-in initiative on the queen side that can stop me from my slow-mo attack on the king side. So this might actually be very decent for white. I'll go queen e2, g4, g5. Hope for the best. Paul Leonard Wagner says, ouch, that hurts. You should be a little bit more gentle with your customers, Jan. You played a good game, no? I thought I was being very gentle. Also, I'm told that many customers, they like it rough. I'm not really told that. So here we go. I'm starting my plan of recklessly pushing my pawns up the board on the king side. Actually, it's not that reckless. It looks like a decent position for me. Here's knight b6. I guess I'll just go g5 and take it from there. At some point I should start thinking a bit about what I want to do on the queen side, because I will probably need these other pieces in order to deliver checkmate. So maybe I'll get this knight over here. If the bishop retreats, I can bring the bishop. Also wondering if it's smart to throw in some a4. Maybe my timing was a little off. Maybe I should have started with a4, because now if I go a4, he can go knight c5, which I don't want. While had I started with a4, the bishop would still have been on c5, making that impossible. So I'll go bishop e3, which is fine, but it allows knight to a4, targeting that pawn, and also preparing further exchanges with knight ac5. That's why, yeah, I was somewhat unhappy with my move order there. Still, looks like a pleasant position. I'm sure a more aggressive player would already have been thinking long and hard about g6 breaks, but I feel like I don't have enough firepower on the king side just yet to make it happen. f6, however, is sort of asking for me to make something happen. It gives me many tempting choices. Bishop h5 comes to mind, asking this rook to clumsy it up by going rook to e7, when the black pieces are sort of stepping all over each other. This rook would block the bishop. I'll throw an h4 just for good luck. So after fg, I have the option to go hg, not allowing fg, followed by knight f6. My main plan is still to go a4 for whatever reason, because there's knight on b6. It really makes my a-pawn finger itch to go after it with a4, a5. King h8 is sensible, stepping out of this diagonal, so there's no unwelcome checks. But now, yeah, the black position has become pretty grim to navigate, because my pieces are just much better placed than his pieces. And I also have a space advantage. Goes c5. And I will just continue my strategy to not give him a lot of breathing room. c3. Feels like a sensible move. b6. a6 is always tempting in these structures, because then in the end games you will often win by bringing your king to b7 and picking up a7. That sounds far-fetched, but a6 is an asset to have in such positions. Here, however, I feel like it's probably more relevant to... I'm not sure what's more relevant. I centralize my pieces or something. He goes knight b8. Kudos to Jaja, by the way. At least he's following my very useful tip of making moves quickly, because if not, time is ticking away. Finally, one of the pawns is falling. Problem was, after a takes b6, the horsey on a8 was hanging. Well, now, yeah, my pieces keep finding ways to infiltrate the heart of the black position. And there goes my lady. Thanks for the game. Jaja, whoa, whoa, reborn. Let us play against... I don't know. Chess Banana? From Botswana. Wow, greetings to Botswana. I'm not sure I've played anybody from Botswana on this show before. I might have. I can't recall it. So shout out to Chess Banana. c5. He goes knight c3. Is this gonna be a closed Sicilian? Looks like it. Another one of these openings I've never paid close attention to, because black is basically fine and has a choice between many very acceptable setups. d6, e5, knight e7, d6, e6, knight e7, d6, knight f6, castles, rook b8, and so on and so forth. And d6, rook b8 quickly, intending b5, b4. So, of course, white is fine, and you can play like that, but it's never an opening that struck me as, ugh, what if he plays the close Sicilian? Which may be wrong. That's how I feel about it. I'll go for the quick bore out the b-pawn push and play rook b8. a4 will not stop me forever. And I think most experts, they don't play a4 in such positions. I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad move. There's a rule of thumb that you shouldn't move pawns on the side you're weaker, but on the upside. Now, a2 cannot become a weakness later on, and your rook also starts operating if you had played a takes b5 on the open, what's called, a5. So yeah, not against it. Now that he didn't take, I guess I should take the chance to play b4. Keeping the a5 closed and pushing Bojack around a little bit. Here, just a quick check if f5 doesn't crush me, but I don't think it does. Gotta keep an eye out on all kinds of f5s here, because the knight on c6 is currently undefended. So actually f5 looks like a pretty good move. And now that I think about it, if I'm given more time to castle and play f5 myself or knight d4, I'll be in very good shape. But f5 directly here, yeah, my lack of counting skills come back to bite me here. Because f5, let's say gf, ef, ef. First of all, it's ugly positionally, and you can just go knight f4. And there is also the small issue that if I capture with a piece here, c6 would be hanging. So yeah. Knight e7, not a great move. Probably should have played f5 instantly. No, ef5. I should stop hanging the knight on c6. Maybe I should have played knight d4. Maybe I should have done something else altogether. Who knows? paying a price for not paying attention to the close Sicilian? I doubt. Still, f5 chess banana. Go for it. Here we go. Good job. This is ugly. Now the knight can come to f4 and d5 or h5. Or he could just take on c6 and then go knight takes f5. I'm not sure which one I would do. Probably just knight f4. But yeah, not what I was dreaming of. Queen h5 played. It's time to jump to d4. I'm not sure about queen h5 because it's such a nice square for the knight as well. So I probably would have left that square open for the horsey and not commit the queen there. Even though it's a natural looking move and white is still doing well after some knight to d5. But now, yeah, I don't like queen h5. It feels like I'll be in time to coordinate, put the other knight on g6, stuff like that. So yeah. Fyodorovich is saying the close Sicilian worked for Spassky during the candidates against Geller and Larsen in the 60s. Yeah, it's not a bad opening. White is not worse, but no matter what opening you play, you will always be able to bring up a famous player that played it a couple times. That's not really the point. My point, I think, is still valid that, yeah, strong players don't play it because black doesn't really have to know anything and can get a pleasant game. You could also refer to the close Sicilian worked for Carlsen against Wojciech in the Tromsø Olympia 2014. It's a way to get a game, but it has nowadays pretty much been limited to surprise weapon, not as a go-to line for white. Now I'm in good shape here without the queens, of course. This is gonna be trouble for white. Because now my pieces are very active and I can start jumping around knight b3 or knight e2 check. The tables have turned. What did I guess just take? Yeah, why not? I'm thinking about 97 check for like 5 seconds, and then it occurred to me that I can probably meet that move by knight takes e7. Chess Banana resigns. Yeah, it's a tough position to play, 2 pawns down. And now I also have the initiative. Still, I wouldn't have resigned yet. Play knight c3 or whatever. But yeah, it's a tough spot to find yourself in. Also, the clock was not doing him any favors. Thanks for the game, Chess Banana. Greetings to Botswana. What else we got? We have JG, which obviously stands for Jan Gustafsson. Watson, number 1. d4, d5. I'll play normal. I was thinking about some goofy move to play, but the problem is the goofy lines after d4, d5, they're not that much fun. Bishop f4, bishop g5, knight c3. It's not like they lead to a fun game. Or they could, but c4 is just a lot more logical. Well, this is a line I had in a recent Bundesliga game, this so-called Semi-Tarrasch, where after c5 I played rook b1, which I think is a more critical way to play than c5 knight f3, but of course you can only get it via this specific move order. Well, a lot of Semi-Tarrasch guys, they will only play the Semi-Tarrasch when the knight is on f3. Kramnik has been experimenting with the setup. Or not experimenting, he's made it his main weapon for a while, but I'm not sure. After c5 rook b1, I still sort of like white's position. He goes knight d7, which is a bit passive. Generally, you want to fight for the center here very quickly and ask white concrete questions. The one reason this line has become viable is that after c5 knight f3, cd cd, you can immediately go bishop b4 check, exchange that bishop, and then take it from there. Well, if more pieces are remaining on the board, like here, then black will normally have a tough time because white controls the center. And he who controls the center controls the board, a wise man once said. I did win that game in Bundesliga, Mark is asking. Then again, I'm normally a quite heavy favorite because I play on board 7 or board 8 for Baden-Baden, the most stacked team in the league. And quite often, I do outrate my opponents by like 300 points. Doesn't mean I win all games, but does mean I'm often supposed to. Still, chess never easy. And nowadays, especially nowadays, with all the info out there, 2,300 players are very, very tough. They're well prepared, and it's not simple at all, for me at least, to win a chess game at all. He goes bishop e7, which is sensible enough. I have to figure out how to arrange my pieces. I think not having to think about that question yet, I'll first go rook b1, which looks useful in either case, targeting b7. And b6 is a slight weakening of the light squares here for him. You could think of scenarios in the future where whatever I go bishop f4, bishop a6, bishop b7, winning in exchange, for example. Or in general, just a bishop on a6, stopping black from going rook c8. So b6 is not a move you really want to play. Well, after bishop c6, which looks like the most normal move, you at least have to think about knight e5. I'm not sure it does much here, because knight e5, queen takes d4. But it could be an inconvenience in the very near future. He does play bishop c6, which, yeah, I probably would have done as well. Knight e5, queen d4, bishop b2, but I can't see any way to proceed. Still looking for one. I can't see it. Bishop b5 is another. It's a weird move because I was just talking about not exchanging pieces and all that, but trying to concretely use the weakness of the b7 pawn. It is a weird move. I'm not sure how much advantage I have left after castles, bishop c6, bc. Nah, I'll be humble and admit bishop rook b1 might not have been as clever as I thought it was. Go bishop b2, preparing. Knight jumps to e5. Still somewhat better. But admittedly, does not look in sync with rook b1 to play bishop b2 next move. Rook c8. J.G. Watson after, I didn't like his opening, but since then, he's played very well. I'll get this bishop out of the way to give this rook a bit of a view again, and also to stop him from getting his bishop to e8, which might not look like much, but bishop e8, knight d7. Could be a way to try to untangle, while now b7 is once again under fire. He goes knight d7 anyway, but that means that after knight takes c6, you now have to recapture with the b pawn, because b7 would be hanging. That's at least a bit of a concession, I would say. Now we'll change course and try to target these weaknesses on the queen side. Not sure how I'll do it yet, but they are there for the targeting. Rook b7, rook c7. Can I grab something there? Takes, d5, ed, knight d5, queen e4. Maybe. Not sure, I didn't really spend ages calculating this operation, but it feels like I can win some material here. I also have queen c2, threatening c6, and if you were to defend it, let's say rook c8, I have e5 and h7 is hanging. But my plan was to play d5, and if takes, to play queen to e4, trying to win material over there. I'll stick with the plan, even though queen c2 or e5 followed by queen c2 might have been, queen c2 first, might have been somewhat more clinical. Because here I'm very capable of missing some Zwischenzug. I don't see it though. You can play c5 and nothing dramatic has happened, but it's a pretty sad position for black. Should be e5 or whatever. Well, knight d5, queen e4. Once again, hoping I did not miss something obvious, but my point was if he defends against a mate with g6, then I can play queen d5, cd, rook c7. Sadek is asking, Jan, will you comment the Gibraltar tournament? No, I will comment Vaikansee, which clashes with Gibraltar, but that will keep us busy. All through the month of January. Is that true? I think it's like 12th till 28th, something like that. So quite a big portion of it. And here goes the night again. So my evil plan has played out. Just like I imagined. Mark is saying, Jan, now your Magnus World Championship collaboration is officially in the open. Can you let us know how far in advance of finalists will typically approach prospective seconds? Are we talking 6 months, a year? Are you already booked in for the next final? I guess that's classified information, but it's fairly well known that normally Magnus's team is somewhat smaller. It's normally his main, second Peter Heine Nielsen, and then Laurent Fressinet is also there, assisting a lot with the non-World Championship tournaments. Well, for the World Championship, he brings some other people in, and I was lucky enough to be one of those people for the last 2 matches. But yeah, how far in advance it's planned and so on, I think I'm not at liberty to speak about. Let's play against Systemfehler. System failure, system error. It's time for my token e4. Du jour. In the Caracan, when I was a young man, I played a lot of this system. Not the greatest of systems. But I would also get it via c4, c6, e4. Black is fine after knight f6, knight c3, knight d5, knight f3, which is a system I used to play. But at least it would take most black players out of their usual Caro-Kann routines. And sometimes you could catch someone a bit off guard with it. It's not necessarily a way to get an opening advantage, but also not terrible. Sphere is asking, have you ever played Hikaru Nakamura, Jan? Yeah, that's too good a setup for me to pass up on. Check the database. It's one of my bigger successes, my black game against Nakamura. He wasn't like the world-class player that he is today yet, but he was already stronger than me. And I won a very nice game with black, so that made me happy. back then. That's the only game I played against him. In tournament chess. The steam failure decided to bring his queen out here with queen takes d5, which strikes me as less logical than knight f6, because you're winning that pawn back anyway, and after queen takes d5 you're losing some time doing so. So I've tried to be aggressive, punish him for his sins, even though it's a very sharp position and I'm not quite sure what's happening after, let's say, long castles or rook d8. I guess bishop d2 maybe. We'll think about it when we get there. Looks complicated, but objectively I'd be very surprised if white wasn't better here, one way or another. But which way? Bishop d2, knight d4. Is there some clever move there? Don't really see it yet. Feels like there's something here. My spider sense is tingling. And again, my spider sense is not very good. I'm more like a Miles Morales type spider sense, not a Peter B. Parker. No, I can't see it. Very upsetting. This is what Spider Sense finally decided on, but I'm not sure this is the critical move at all. I want knight g5, but I'm not sure it works. Bishop e2, queen e2, knight d5, knight f7, knight c3. Ooh, gets a little murky. Angular murky. Do I have to be humble? Not my specialty. d5 is hanging. Nah, bishop e2. Spider Sense let me down. Still have the feeling there should be something, but I can't find it. Systemfehler. What are you doing to me? What have I done to deserve this? Having to calculate. I'll just intently stare at the position and pretend that's calculating. I have no idea what's going on. Rook d5, I have bishop g4, so that's good news. I guess he has to take on e2, or should take on e2. Then I want queen e2, and I'm trying to work out what happens after knight takes d5 there. Knight f7, knight takes c3, say queen e6, check, rook d7, short castle, something like that. With more weirdness incoming. We'll see. City Slicker saying the c3 knight is pinned anyway. Couldn't he have taken b4? No. Think about it. City Slicker. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Paolo A is wondering, hi Jan, have you thrilled for Star Trek Discovery Season 2? I don't watch any Star Trek stuff. I'm not a Trekkie. Or Stranger Things 3 or any other series. Nah, I'm also, I guess, I could catch up with Stranger Things one day. I've watched the first season and I sort of enjoyed it, but I didn't really feel like more 80s nostalgia and Stranger Things Season 2. Which might be because of my age. I'm old, but I'm not quite old enough to enjoy 80s nostalgia that much. I'm more of a 90s nostalgia guy. So yeah, wasn't really that tempted to revisit that universe. As for shows, you know, I'm a big TV show guy, but I'm not sure what I'm that excited about currently. I'm like everybody, just waiting for Game of Thrones to return. I guess True Detective Season 3 has been getting some good buzz and it's coming soon, so I'll try to check that out. I'll let, you know, waiting for random stuff to pop up on my radar. Like now I was watching this show on Netflix called You, or Stalker. I really enjoyed that. I feel I could be a good stalker. I might have talked about this on the last episode. But in general, it feels like chess players and stalkers have a lot in common. Like the slight social awkwardness, the feeling of not really belonging on parties, the research. So yeah, I think stalking is a viable career choice for me. Not sure if it pays, but I should pay attention to this game because I might be in real big trouble here. 94 is a good move. I thought, I'll give a check and take it from there. But the check is not so great for me because this bishop then becomes a target after 92, followed by knight takes f4. So yeah, this probably has gone somewhat wrong. What to do? I should put my queen somewhere and take it from there. Good news is Bojack is still alive and kicking, but I have a feeling there's probably some tactic here. That should work for black. Good news is, if I can't see it, hopefully he can't see it either. But my weakly developed spider sense is telling me, you're in trouble. You're in real big trouble. Oh, d5. Okay, I guess I should take and then think. h5, yeah, it looks like he's lost the thread a little bit. If there was a thread, I'm not sure. As I said, I felt like black probably had something strong somewhere. Couldn't really put my finger on it either. But now it looks like I'm back in control. I'm something up, I guess, in exchange. And my pieces are crawling out. So yeah, this should be somewhat winning. Where do we go? Here. Give me the rook. Give me the rook. And the Steinfehler resigns. It was an interesting game. I think objectively the line he played should be bad, but very possibly I did not go for the right punishment. I don't know, after bishop g4, maybe h3 is stronger. Plenty tempting options along the way. And here, yeah, from afar I sort of missed that knight d4 was hitting my queen. And, well, I think I had this in my mental picture. The king was still on c8, so I thought after knight d4 I could go queen c4 check. So probably queen e6 check wasn't so bright, maybe queen g4 check immediately. Anyway, it felt like it went slightly wrong somewhere around here. And I'd be curious to see what black could have done, because it very much looks like black should have something strong here. Anyway, thanks for the game, Systemfehler. Alright, last game du jour. Let's look for some strange. What about this guy? Zadek. Zadek's here. Goes knight f3. That doesn't allow me to play the Albans either. So I will play the second worst opening I know. The Dutch. Especially bad after knight f3 because white has even extra options like d3 followed by e4 or whatnot. He plays b3, which also looks very sensible actually. And I guess after b3, I shouldn't have played g6 because bishop f6, that structure worries me a little bit. But instead, be humble, get the pieces out, and try to pretend the pawn on f5 is an asset controlling the e4 square. Not sure that's very true. But now it looks like at least a somewhat normal position. What goes where though? I do not know. d6, knight g5 could be a bit of an issue. Knight a6 looks like a typical move. Or what else can you do? As you can probably tell, I still don't feel very at home in such positions. But I'll get the knight out. If if he goes knight c3, which looks normal, then I guess I should go knight to e4, making a square for this bishop on f6. And now there's no longer any shenanigans with exploiting this knight here, because it can always be exchanged for the knight c3. So meeting knight c3 with knight to e4 is sort of a typical theme in all these, whatever you want to call it, Queen's Indian structures. Yasin et Kwanan, sorry for bungling that name, is asking, what's Peter doing? Did he stop doing banters? No, he's coming here to do Vaikanze. Normally once we get him here, he will also do the odd banter. So I think during Vaikanze, probably on the rest days, you can look forward to some Peter Svidler bantering. Very polite bantering. Now on bishop f6, not sure about that either, but I'm never sure about anything. So probably don't have to say that after every single one of my moves. A bit concerned that something like knight e4, fe, bishop f6, queen f6, knight somewhere, knight d2 is just good for white. But we'll take it when we get there. Other than that, I don't have any big dreams here. I just want to put the other horsey into play. So I guess I should do that. And try to make it out of the opening without permanent structural damage. DED I'm happy to see, because now this d-pawn is no longer there to restrict my pieces. In such positions, I'm not saying I'm better, but they do have some potential for black to be better eventually. Because now, yeah, all of my pieces are functioning, and you could argue they're even better placed than the white pieces. Therefore, all of a sudden, could be white that has to pay attention. b4 might be a good move. I'm not sure. Of course, it gives me some squares to work with, but I can't see any particularly promising way to use them. So yeah, b4 probably was a good move, keeping things under control. Trying to figure out where to put the horsey. If I should take and then play knight e4, but that leaves this ugly hole on e5, which I don't really want to deal with. I should go knight e4 directly, but then he takes and it gets very dull. So yeah, good job by Sadek simplifying by playing a timely b4. b4 was too late. I guess I should fix this guy just for a rainy day. I paused a bit because I was wondering if knight g5 bothered me. I decided it doesn't bother me all that much. And positionally, it should be a good idea to fix this pawn on a light square for later. Should I pause again to wonder if knight g5 bothers me? Nah, I'll just roll with it. Yep, I should keep that d file. That's the one thing I have going for me position here. Next order of business would be nice to bring the king to f6. In the meantime, I will, as usual, wonder if knight g5 bothers me or not. But if I got my king here, that'd be progress to control these squares. He goes knight e1, trying to put the knight on d3 to lock up the d file. So I should probably try to squeeze Rookie Boy in before that door gets closed forever. And rook c2 I thought was a bit too generous, because after rook d1, winter is coming. So yeah, Sadek, that escalated quickly. Now it's just game over, because after takes I can give this little Zwischenschach. King g2, rook d2, and the rook is stronger than the horse. So, yeah, 91, he lost control. And then often, as it does happen, a mistake does not come alone. Is that the saying? I don't know. Sounds like a saying. And yeah, this is not particularly complicated, I hope. And yeah, Sadek resigns, king f4, rook c3. Does not give him much hope. So, that's it for today. Thanks for participating. We'll have another one in case you missed today's show, or you didn't get a chance to play. On whatever day it is. Thursday, I think 5 p.m. Could be 6 p.m. I'm sure you can find out. And then, of course, on Saturday, the Vikaton is starting. Show for premium users only with the great Peter Svidler and the less great, but very eager to get back to commentating, Jan Gustafsson. Very much looking forward to it. With all our boys playing Magnus Carlsen, Anish Giri, my very dark horse, Jorn van Foreest in his first Vike A appearance. I'm not sure I know the whole field. Let's try to figure it out. So it's Magnus. It's a good start. It's Giri, it's Mamedyarov, it's Dingliren, it's Vishy, it's Kramnik. I'll get stuff for it. It's Nepomniachtchi, Rajabov, Fedoseev, Shankland, Vidit, Rapport, Duda, Van Foreest. Is that it? Am I forgetting one? I don't know. Anyway, should be a fun tournament, fun mix of established guys. Blah, 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 blah. I'm looking forward to it. See you there, starting on Saturday, or in the next Banter Blitz show, or walking down the street just the other day. You never know. Thanks for watching, guys. Been a blast. Should I say been a blast with my sleepy eyes? I can't hide my lying eyes, and my smile is a thin disguise. See you next time. Bye.